Okay, so we're going to talk about use cases for AI. The what, the so what, and the now what. To start off, I'd like to show you what the first industrial revolution felt like to Victorians. This is Rain Steam Speed by Turner, painted in 1844, just after the opening of the Great Western Railway. Steam engines transform Victorian society as dramatically as AI is going to transform our society. The future feels like it is coming at us fast, and everything is a bit of a blur. But the excitement is palpable. We are lucky to be living in such fast-moving times. And fast-moving they really are. In January last year, McKinsey wrote that 49% of all activities people are paid for could be automated by currently demonstrated technology. Not technology from the future, technology that is available today. The RICS reported that 88% of the core tasks performed by surveyors could be automated over a 10-year period. So what is happening to generate all this change? Well, the answer starts here. This is Moore's law, where essentially computing power doubles every 2 years, something which has held true for 50 years so far. So you have 100,000 transistors on a chip in 1980, 100 million by 2000, and 10 billion by 2016. This is the archetypal example of exponential growth, the famous hockey stick we hear so much about. But compared to the chips that originated in gaming machines, but that are now the primary processing units behind AI, this Moore's law growth is rather paltry. Moore's law is shown in the two anemic lines at the bottom. The power of GPUs has been increasing dramatically faster over the last few years. Which is why neural network training, which is fundamental to machine learning, became 60 times faster in the 3 years from 2013 to 2016, with most of that growth in one wonder year, 2015. So what does this lead to then? Well, for one thing, it means computer vision, face recognition, etc., has gone from being useless to a utility in just a few years. With error rates of 28% in 2010, it was a pretty useless technology. By 2017, the error rate was down to 2.2%, far better than the 5%, which is how humans perform. And unlike humans, who can only process a few images at a time, computer vision enables 200,000 faces to be recognized in real time. Likewise, speech recognition has gone from useless to utility. In fact, it has done so considerably faster than computer vision. In 2013, we saw word error rates of 23%. Just 4 years later, this was below 5%, again the human level of achievement. Which is why we have seen all of a sudden the rise of smart speakers like Alexa and the growing use of voice as a search interface. It is what happens when new technologies become utilities. So all businesses can now exploit 6 new technological capabilities made possible by the growing power of AI. Many more processes can now be automated. We can understand what is happening in pictures and videos. We can optimize complex systems in a manner that was not possible before. We can automatically generate voice and textual content. And we can automatically understand people using language and make predictions. Within the real estate industry, we have mapped these new capabilities as applying across 17 areas or workflows. Much of the day-to-day requirements of the industry can be improved using AI. From investment strategy to asset monitoring, to customer experience, to demand optimization, the possibilities are almost endless. But with AI, there is a catch. Unlike previous technologies where often the best policy was to let early adopters make all the mistakes and lose a lot of money, with AI you cannot be a fast follower and ride on the coattails of innovators. You have to be the innovator. Because AI is all about data and the training of systems. Machine learning means just that. The machines learn from experience, and that is a step you cannot buy your way around. Experience matters in AI, and the rewards go to those who have learnt the most. So, what then to do about all of this? How do we apply these powers to real estate? Well, across real estate, there are a number of key things we all have to do. But really, everything boils down to making predictions, and AI is dramatically reducing the cost of prediction. Who will buy? Who will sell? What happens if this? What happens if that? What are the chances of, etc., etc. And with better and cheaper predictions, the amount of uncertainty we have to deal with reduces. And less uncertainty is a great enabler. We can take more risks at less risk. Here are 9 key use case areas for AI in real estate. Computer vision is a powerful weapon. Being able to point a camera at the built environment and to understand what is being seen is a superpower. But people also like interacting with images. They are comfortable with images. Real estate search using images rather than text will become a big thing. The Internet of Things and smart buildings and smart cities are going to allow us to optimize the space around us in unprecedented ways. Not least of all, we are going to be able to optimize our workplaces so that they at last allow us to be as productive as we can be. All around the world, there are now thousands upon thousands of small, low-altitude satellites, and these are allowing us to monitor, inspect, and analyze the world in great detail. We can merge satellite and aerial imagery with other data sets to aid our understanding. From daily monitoring of development sites to checking how full car parks are at shopping centres, there is a lot you can do when you can analyse imagery. AI is extremely useful in synthesizing disparate data sources and finding correlations and causations between them. Automated valuation models will become more and more accurate. And a side note on that, as we have said, AI can be a winner-takes-all technology. As with web search, we probably only need one automated valuation model in each asset class. Chatbots are a key AI tool. For anything deeply structured, allowing people to text for help or assistance makes a lot of sense. We see a lot of chatbots in property management and customer service. Location, location, location is of course a real estate mantra, but historically we have not really known that much about any given location. AI will allow us to become far better informed about the precise characteristics of locations and the wants and needs of the people who live, work or shop there. Voice as a search interface is now becoming commonplace with the likes of Alexa. Expect to see a lot more people talking to computers rather than tapping away at keyboards. Natural language processing is all about understanding text, and once that becomes a solved problem, all manner of interactions we currently have with text will be changed. Expect to see a rapid decline in human input into report creation, for example. Certainly in a business context, most reports can be boiled down to a templated format and auto-generated by linking in various data sources. And finally, marketing. Probably the number one use case for AI across all businesses. Marketing is all about knowing your customer, and AI, in various ways, is going to enable us to be much, much better at that. Real estate has a lot to learn here. Those who bother to learn will reap big advantages. So, 9 areas where you will find solid use cases for AI in real estate. Here are 70 companies all ready to help you out. All of this is very exciting, but how do you ensure you remain on the right side of this change and don't lose your job to an AI? Well, first off, you have to remember that Picasso, of course, was right. Computers are useless. They can only give us answers. We are here to put the questions. This is Garry Kasparov, the great chess master, and also the first world champion to lose to a computer. In his case, IBM's Deep Blue in 1996. Since that day, it was clear that humans would no longer beat computers at chess. So Garry started a new form of chess called advanced chess. In this, a human, sometimes a pair, plus a computer, would take on another computer plus a human or a pair. What transpired was remarkable. First off, a human plus a computer always beat the computer on its own. But also the team who managed the relationship between human and computer, regardless of strength, mostly came out on top. As he says, weak human plus machine plus better process was superior to a strong computer alone, and more remarkable, superior to a strong human and a machine and an inferior process. Understanding how to best leverage the different skill sets of humans and machines is the killer skill. This was Steve Jobs at the launch of the iPad 2 in March 2011 and shows his famous marriage of technology and the liberal arts. It is in Apple's DNA that technology alone is not enough. It's technology married with liberal arts, married with the humanities, that yields us the results that make our hearts sing. So, we have 4 steps to ensure your job is not taken away by an AI. Step 1. Do not stay in a job that is structured, repeatable, or predictable. This is from the Jack Lemmon film The Apartment in 1960, and in those days offices were essentially Excel. Every desk was like a cell in a spreadsheet where the person working at it was doing something structured, repeatable, or predictable. If your job is anything like that, start planning your exit. Step 2, you need to learn how to think about AI. You need to understand what AI is good for and what it is not good for. Understanding where it can be applied is absolutely foundational and will avoid wasting a lot of time. You need to look for those use cases, the 88% of core tasks from the RICS report and the 49% McKinsey reference. Amongst those, you need to consider which ones are commonplace and repeatable within your own business and/or applicable to many of your customers. Then you need to think about what data you would need to feed your AI initiatives and whether or not you either have this data or can acquire it one way or another. You need to consider whether there are clear metrics by which you could judge success. Is success measurable? And then finally, if you have all of the above, is that something that will create significant value? If you get to the end of this with all the right answers, then you have a product or service worth pursuing. If you are looking to build AI solutions for customers, then your product or service must abide by these rules. Thirdly, in a world of exponential technology, you need to become exponentially human. You need to develop all your human skills of imagination, empathy, design, social intelligence, problem solving, judgment, etc. because that is your value. Do not try and beat the machines at what they are good at. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Instead, work on how, with your understanding of AI, you can use it to augment your own human skills. As prediction becomes cheaper, the value of judgment will increase. All this technology is an input. We are responsible for deciding the output we desire. Those with great judgment who can weigh up upsides and downsides of predictions will see their value rise. AI will give us more options. How we exploit them will be down to human judgment. And think education, education, education. In a fast-changing world, education is a marathon, an ongoing process. You will never run out of new skills to learn. And then finally, you need to deeply consider how AI, data, and all technological change is going to change the world. There will be winners and there will be losers. Oftentimes, each of us will be both. We will lose some things but gain others. Mostly, it is tasks that will be lost rather than entire jobs. But there certainly will be many jobs that do become redundant. There will also be a lot of real estate that becomes redundant. As the work we do changes, the nature of the office is going to change fundamentally, where and how we live as well. And as for retail, well, there is much change coming there. Pay attention to these 4 rules and your job will not be overtaken by an AI. In fact, you will most likely thrive in an AI world. But either way, remember that in business, some things don't change. The bear is coming, but you do not have to be perfect, just better than your peers. Thank you.